Well, 7 people were arrested in the Mammoth area last week on narcotics-related charges. Now, according to a press release from the Mono County Sheriff's Department on Wednesday, August 1st and Thursday, August 2nd, the Mono County Narcotics Task Force, that's known as MONET, with the assistance of the Mono County Sheriff's Department, the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, and the Inyo County Narcotics Task Force, made 7 narcotics-related arrests. According to that press release, on the morning of August 1st, MONET agents served a search warrant within the town of Mammoth Lakes, and this was relating to the suspicion of sales of heroin and methamphetamine. The search warrant resulted in 3 arrests and the seizure of over $4,000 in proceeds from the sales of narcotics. Agents also recovered scales, packaging materials, large amounts of smoking devices, a firearm, prescription pills, and methamphetamine. The press release states that Benjamin John Pierola, age 25 of Mammoth Lakes, was arrested for sales of heroin, possession of narcotics paraphernalia, possession of a controlled substance, and an addict in possession of a firearm. Stephen Robert Mesa, age 26 of Mammoth Lakes, was arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of narcotics paraphernalia. And the press release also states that Jose Cortez Lugo, age 21, of Mammoth Lakes, was arrested for possession of narcotics paraphernalia. Now, in a separate investigation on Wednesday, August 1st, Jessica Marie Skurich, age 24 of Costa Mesa, was arrested for the possession and sales of morphine. On Thursday, August 2nd, MONET agents arrested 3 subjects for the possession and sales of controlled substances. Press release states that Theodore Raw, age 34 of Mammoth Lakes, was arrested for possession and sales of approximately 100 doses of LSD. David Brandon Abruzzo, age 32 of Mammoth Lakes, was arrested for the sales of approximately 114 grams of psilocybin mushrooms. Abruzzo's arrest led to the service of a search warrant of his residence on Joaquin Street. MONET agents seized $1,800 in proceeds from the sales of the narcotics and recovered approximately 2,000 grams of psilocybin mushrooms, 150 doses of LSD, 985 grams of marijuana, 230 grams of hash, 5 grams of ketamine powder, scales, and packaging material. Peter Francis Jednick, age 21 of Mammoth Lakes, was arrested for the possession and sales of cocaine, psilocybin mushrooms, and marijuana. All suspects were transported to the Mono County Jail without further incident. Well, Bennett Kessler filed the following reports on the Inyo and Mono County Boards of Supervisors. The most interesting thing on the Inyo Supervisors agenda Tuesday is a closed session. An agenda item reads, Real Property Negotiations Conference with Real Property Negotiator. Now, the item goes on to say that the property is on J Street and owned by Inyo County. The other party negotiating is Mammoth Brewing Company. Now, the Inyo County owned land is the 5.6 acres south of the Jack in the Box in Bishop. Now, in recent years, Mammoth Brewing has been seeking a location for a new facility. Now, owner Sean Turner, who was tied up with Bluesapalooza in Mammoth last week, said he would comment to Sierra Media this week. Now, asked to comment on the Mammoth Brewing topic, Inyo County Administrator Kevin Caruncio said, quote, at the staff level, we've been talking with Mammoth Brewing on and off for several years regarding opportunities to relocate the company's operations to Inyo County, including the city of Bishop. We've helped identify a few sites up and down the Owens Valley, Caruncio continued, that might meet the need of the company, company's needs and exacting standards. However, by the county moving forward and continuing exploring the feasibility of developing new, better county office space in the Bishop area, some of these properties have been precluded from further detailed discussions. Caruncio went on to say that now, at the request of and with the concurrence of Joseph Enterprises, we're going to take a new look at how things might be able to fit together. The Inyo supervisor's agenda does include a closed session on real property negotiations with Joseph Enterprises also. Officials have said that the office complex project could cost as much as $15 million. They had also discussed the possibility of swapping the county-owned land on J Street with Joseph Enterprises to offset the cost of this project. Now, as for the mega office building proposal, Inyo Supervisor Chairman Marty Fortney recently promised that the board would hold a series of town hall meetings on the project in all communities. Fortney said, quote, "The board is not willing to make a decision if constituents have not weighed in," end quote. Now, Fortney said he has not made up his mind. He said there are needs to be met, but he is not totally convinced, particularly if county government money were to enter the picture. Now, in other items before the Inyo board Tuesday, Jack Pound wants to talk about future uses of the abandoned Pines Cafe property in Independence. The planning department has proposed increasing Greg James's contract for legal services by nearly $30,000 to deal with the Bright Source Solar Project general plan amendment and zoning changes. James's new contract would not exceed close to $60,000. On Wednesday, the board will hold a special meeting at 9 a.m. in Independence for a budget workshop. Now, County Administrator Caruncio will offer preliminary information on departments' budgets for the new fiscal year. And when the Mono County Board of Supervisors sit down to meet Tuesday, they will look at a letter from Verizon Wireless. It's a notice about a cell tower project in Crowley Lake, one of the cell phone dead zones in the Eastern Sierra. This time, the project would go up on Department of Water and Power land, not in the middle of a neighborhood like the earlier failed cell phone project. Then it's on the 3 claims for damages filed by James Spencer Jennings, Jimmy Lee Kirby, and Richard Lumen. Recent news about Lumen's firing from his job as county mechanic and his failed appeal hearing revealed Lumen's gripes about county management. He alleged Mono officials failed to deal with a hostile work environment, which led to what he described as an attack by a management worker. Jim Kirby was reportedly disciplined for saying that he witnessed the Lumen being assaulted by a road department supervisor. The twisted plot now goes further with these claims, which the supervisors will likely reject. Lawsuits could follow. The Mono board will review how they want senior services to be delivered to Mono County. Supervisor Hap Hazard wants the board to oppose Senate Bill 1221, which would prohibit use of a dog to hunt or pursue a bear or bobcat. At the end of the meeting will come the issue of the day, closure of June Mountain. The Mono supervisors will talk about legal and financial impacts and possible marketing and economic development help to the community of June Lake. Now, Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock at the June Lake Community Center, the June Lake Citizens Advisory Committee will meet to talk about the same issues and how the people might survive in the absence of the town's main winter tourist attraction. Talk is also pointed about how to save June Mountain. Well, the body of Gary Dankworth, 60-year-old man from Carson City, Nevada, was found and recovered from the Middle Palisades of Kings Canyon National Park last Thursday and Friday. Now, according to a press release from Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park, Dankworth was found on the south face of Norman Clyde Peak during search and rescue operations managed by the Inyo County Sheriff's Department and Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Press release states that Dankworth was an experienced backcountry hiker who was camping north of Norman Clyde Peak. According to the reporting party, Dankworth embarked from his campsite at Finger Lake to summit Norman Clyde Peak, located above Big Pine, and that was on Saturday, July 28th. He was expected to return to his campsite that evening. His companions contacted the Inyo County Sheriff's Department and reported him overdue on the morning of Sunday, July 29th. The cause of the incident is under investigation. Search operations ended late in the day last Thursday, and the press release states that a total of over 40 people and 4 helicopters were involved in search operations. Press release says this incident was highly supported by the efforts of volunteer search and rescue team members coordinated by Cal EMA. For more on this story and others, please see our website, sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.